Supposed to get a 7 o'clock start, but a 7:30 beginning, and that is exclusively because there is a referee shortage. And due to that, the officials who arrived here at about 7 o'clock and are getting this 7:30 matchup underway were actually working elsewhere as you take a look at the starting lineups. And there you have it for LBW. De La Torre, Horn, Kelly, Smith, Mason, Bean, and Smith. All part of the lineup. Meanwhile, for Coastal South, it is becoming a familiar lineup card of Craman, Snow, as well as Stewart, Alleman, Martin, Wilson, and Boudreaux. And with the first errant serve, this one is underway. Hi, everybody. Robert Williamson set to bring you the coverage. Great to have you on the other end of the broadcast. LBW, it's been a fine year already. They are 6-1 in the South Division. Dug out by Snow, almost an ace for Smith. And then a little too strong with a return. 6-1, 17-5 overall. Winners of 6 in a row. They haven't lost since they lost to Wallace Hansfield. Actually, it was Walter State up at the Wallace Hansfield tournament. And that happened about 2 weeks ago. There is the set, driven cross court by Elizabeth Bean. And when you look at the numbers for the Saints, there are a number of Saints in the top 5 in the ACCC statistical categories, including 3 in the number 1 spot. An ace for Brianna Smith. How about 50 aces on the year for Smith? That is 51. And the Saints take an early 4-zip lead with Brianna Smith continuing to serve. Tops in the conference in assist percent. Well, what a drive. Wilson uses the power to get the first South point of the game. Boudreaux coming off the floor. Back in is Kinsley Martin. Alexandria Miller checking in, and she will serve. Looks like all year long, Coastal Alabama South going to be playing their volleyball here at Bay Minette Middle School. That is because renovations are taking place on campus at Coastal South. I know they had hoped, well, really probably the initial hope was all the work would be done and the volleyball would begin in August on this floor. But that hasn't happened. Now it's looking like all the volleyball will be played here. I guess the question now becomes, do you play some of the basketball here? I am not sure, not privy to how far along construction work is. We've got a pause in the action. And Dr. Richie Delaney is actually underneath the scores table, apparently. I can't see the scoreboard from my vantage point, but apparently the scoreboard has become unplugged. And thus we don't have a score in the arena. Here's what I do. I'm sitting on a stage that is kind of set back from the floor, and periodically I'll get up and take a look at the scoreboard just to make sure that I have kept up accurately with what's happening here. Looks like they've got some tape out now and working on taping it into that power socket. And I don't know if tape that is designed to, wrap around ankles and wrists is going to be adequate to taping down an AC plug. Well, they've apparently decided to forego and switch over to Plan B, and Plan B is to manually do it. Well, here's the plus to Plan B. I can actually now see the scoreboard. We're going to use a little flip chart, and it's over at the scores table. I can see the scores table. So what works to everyone else's disadvantage is going to work to my advantage, I think. I say that. Got to move some stuff off the scores table. to make sure we can see everything. There's, typically have some paraphernalia on. Yep, now they've moved that. So, yeah, hey, it's worked out for me, not for everybody else. 4-1 ball game, Saints. And we will resume play here in just a moment. Getting a late start, as I mentioned, because of a official shortage. There just aren't nearly as many officials as there used to be. I don't think, now if you talk to the people that study these kind of things, they'll tell you that there is a shortage of officials because, in part, the abuse they take from the fans. And heck, I get that. I have been to many a game where I'm sitting in the stands going, I don't know if I could tolerate that. I don't think that's nearly as prevalent, though, in volleyball. Now, my assumption is that the volleyball coaches or umpires probably officiate other sports, too. I don't know if that's fair to say, though, because to be perfectly honest, I have seen, like, a basketball official officiating volleyball, but otherwise, you really don't see that much. Would you call it cross officiating? Wilson cross court, drops it right in front of Smith, the libero. And 2 in a row scored by Coastal South as we get the play back underway. And there's always a plan B. Plan B, forget the power. Go with the manual scoreboard. 5-2 LBW advantage. Serve into the hands of Elizabeth Bean. Bean 248 kills. A little better than 3.5%. Craman tipping it over that front line. Picked up by Smith. Over to Caroline Bailey, who comes up a little bit short. And South will get the serve back. Hey, great to have you watching, by the way. Wherever you're watching tonight's game, we're giving you all kinds of means by which to watch. On our website, on YouTube, on Facebook. Smith thought about returning the serve, but then decides otherwise and it will go long. So a service error, and Reese Smith will serve. 158 aces from the Saints this year. Trying to flick it over was Hardigan. Alleman trying to return the Smith serve and couldn't. And it's a 7-3 game. Back over to Alleman. Back set Hardigan over to Craman. And she will drop it in front of the in-line. These two teams have already met once this year. They met on the 5th of September. On that particular day, it was a Saint 3-zip win. 25-13 in the opening set. 25-22 in set number 2 and 25-16 in set 3. Craman launches it over to Bean. That is De La Torre driving it, but get into the net. And Coastal South within 2. Sophie Craman with a serve. 13 aces for a Coastal South team with 87 aces. Smith trying to dig it out, and Craman will drop it in for the point. The ace makes it a 7-6 game with 6 serving 7. And Craman to serve again. South trying to knot it up. Bean got there first, shoved over to De La Torre. That will go off Snow. Caroline Bailey serving 9 aces this year for the 155 hitter, the number 4 hitting team overall in the conference, hitting 196. Bailey serves it up to Craman. Setting up Ottoman, drives it into the backcourt. Smith is there, shoved to the mid part of the floor. Bean drives but goes long. 8-7 game. Uncharacteristically, a couple of days off from sports after this one. Back to volleyball and football on Friday, but We don't have anything for you on Wednesday or Thursday. Bean sending it to Smith. De La Torre sending it through the Stewart would-be block. And it is De La Torre who will serve. 29 aces on the year. That is second most on the team. Drives it to Alleman, bumped by Boudreau. Crayman sending the free ball over. Shoved to the other side of the floor, driven by Bean. Crayman digs it out. Boudreau plays it off the roof. Bumped over by Alleman. Back over to Bean. Uses the left hand to tip it over. Hartigan's there. Alleman sends it over and drops it in. Bean tried to get the dig and couldn't. And it's a 9-8 game. And the serve back over to the other side of the floor. Alleman doing the honors. Coastal South 3-3 here on the Bay Minette Middle School floor. Back set to Kelly. And Kelly will drive it over and extend the lead to 2. Kelly on the serve, 15 aces this year, a .257 hitter. Setting on the mid part of the floor. Wilson couldn't get there to drive it over. Saints have been in 3-set matches 12 times this year and won 11 of them. Have only been swept once, and that was by Pensacola State. Cross court, driven in by Stewart. Coyotes have played in 14 3-set matches and won 2 of them. Snow serving. 12 aces on the year for Snow. De La Torre able to track down an errant Mason pass. Mason with a free ball over. It goes to Wilson. It is blocked. Zatti on a horn, able to block it. Lead goes back to 3 for the Saints. And the service come full circle. Brianna Smith back behind the service line. Picked up by Snow. Setting up Stewart. Dinks it over that front line. Smith able to get there. Back set over to Bailey. Alleman there, setting up Wilson. Drives it down the line. De La Torre there. Wilson will send it right back. Coyotes stay within 2 as Boudreau checks out. Into the ball game is Alexandria Miller. Miller with 16 aces this year. That's second most on the team. Typically a non-starter, but right in the middle of the service rotation. Sophomore dips it over. De La Torre gets there. Bailey drives it into the backcourt. Off Miller, off the roof. And that will last hit a Coyote. And the Saints will pick up their 13th point. 13 serving 10. Elizabeth Bean, 248 kills this year. Most for the Saints. Dipped over. Horn didn't know it was there and dribbles off her back. And the Coyotes stay close. Rachel Wilson, who leads the Coyotes in so many different categories, sends it over to Smith. De La Torre backing up, hoping for a Brianna Smith pass after the Reese Smith first pass. Doesn't happen, and it turns into a Coyote point. And Coastal South is a point away from tying it up. Rachel Wilson serving. Nearly got the ace. Smith able to get to it. De La Torre driving from the left side, sticks it in the net, and we're tied at 13. And that has prompted a Saint timeout. We'll take the break with them on JockJive.
It's the dreaded appointment. You've put it off long enough. You've run out of excuses. And now you've got to face your fears head on. Fortunately, there's someone there who won't hold your feelings against you. Somebody whose efforts instead will give you your best selfie smile. You'll thank her when it's over. Be somebody. Enroll in the dental assisting program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Knotted up at 13. South still serving. Rachel Wilson doing the honors after the St. timeout. Puts it over to Bean. Picked up by Smith. Brings it back onto the floor. Bailey drives it off the fingertips of Wilson. St. score coming out of the timeout. Back to serve is Reese Smith. A couple of Smiths on the St. squad. Reese and Brianna. Reese the libero. And Brianna the center. 1 point St. lead opening set. Payment at middle school, Payment at Alabama. Snow with a dig into the net. Hardigan pulls it off. Shoved over by Snow. Back set to Bailey. Tips it over Alleman. Back over to Alleman. Left side. Tips it across. Smith able to get underneath. And apparently got into the net in the process. And we are knotted up at 14. Saints not able to get a lead bigger than 3. South hasn't surpassed this point. Tie game yet. Trying to take their first lead in set number 1. Shoved over to De La Torre. Sends it into the backcourt. And Saints will go back out in front by 1. I mentioned South 3-3 here. Saints are 3-2 on the road. 7-3 at neutral sites, 3-2 on the floor of the opposition. Too long with the serve. South ties it up again. We've been tied at 13, 14, and 15. Fisted over by Kinsley Martin, setting up De La Torre, drives it. Stewart blocked it, Snow picked it up off the net. Alleman drives it down the line. Bean is there, shoved over to De La Torre. She will drive it, Snow's got the block. Back over to De La Torre, trying to go cross court. Alleman is there, Stewart shoves it over. It will sail long, Bean can't track it down, and South has their first lead of the match and set. A 1 point Coyote lead. Martin again on the serve. Picked up by Bean. Bumped over to De La Torre. Drives it into the backcourt. Cramen there. Hardigan setting up Snow. Drives it over. Bean near the sideline. De La Torre going cross court. And Martin kicks it into the stands. Well, heck, we've been tied at 12, 13, 14, and 15. Might as well be knotted up at 16 each. De La Torre serving. She is a 2-14 hitter. Drives it over to Alleman. Stewart, left side. She will get it to drop off of Bean. One point South lead again. With Sarah Alleman serving. 8 aces this year for the 135 hitter. South won their last outing. Hard fought over Bevel State. Over it goes to Bean, drives it down the line. Boudreaux can't get to it. Ashlyn Kelly serving. Hitting .257. Drives it over to Boudreaux. Setting up Stewart. And Stewart will drive it right here in my lap. Which means, as you see, Ashlyn Kelly retrieving that it's kind of knocked my camera a little cattywalker, so we'll do the appropriate adjusting. There we go. Get you back onto the floor, and here it comes again. Well, that's twice in a row that it is sent this direction. And we're knotted up at 18. Well, I would have been able to show my athletic skills if I had it. You know, retrieving the volleyball, shoving it back over, sending it onto the floor. But my athletic skills are limited. So retrieving it and rolling it back to the players was about all I can do. 19 serving 18. Third rotation to serve for Brianna Smith. Snow picks it up. Ottoman sending into the mid part of the floor and teamed over by Craman. Bean able to get there. Bumped over with a free ball by Bean. Wilson drives it. Smith picks it up. Over it goes to Bailey. And it's Ottoman who gets a piece of it. Craman over to Stewart. Dinks it across. Smith able to get there. De La Torre. Bean drives it into the backcourt. Boudreaux fisted over by Wilson. De La Torre there. Popped over by Horn. And for the first time in a long time, we've got a 2-point lead, 2018 Saints. Timeout on the floor. This one called by Coastal South in a 2-point game, set 1.
Preparing for surgery is like getting ready for the big game. You arrive early. You get your mind right. You make sure every tool is ready and the team has the right equipment. Your patient may never know your name. They may never realize that somebody cared enough to ensure all the little tasks were done right. But that's okay. You do. Be somebody. Enroll in the Surgical Technology program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Hey, reminder, we would love to have you as a friend, follower, and whatever else, a threader. What is it on TikTok? A TikToker? Instagram and Grammar. Find JockJive, put it in the search engine. Follow us, befriend us. Would appreciate it. And if you are watching on YouTube, and even if you're not watching on YouTube, you can still subscribe. And that grows our numbers, which we like. Kind of partial to the bigger numbers. And it alerts you to any time we create a game link and start a game link. Snow trying to return the Brianna Smith serve, the ace. Will put the Saints back out in front by 3, matching their biggest lead. Smith again with a serve. And again, Saints pulling away late, 22-18 advantage. Smith number 1 in assists per set, number 2 in the conference in aces per set with the service error. South serving, checking in to do so is Alexandria Miller. Coyotes with a couple of more home games. Friday night against Pearl River, Saturday afternoon versus Gadsden State. Over to Wilson, shoves it over. De La Torre there, back over to Bean. Shoots it across from the left side. Craman blocked. Nice pull from the floor by Horn. Over to Wilson, drives it into the backcourt. De La Torre knocks it off the roof. And the Coyotes are within 2. Served up by Miller. Picked up by Bailey. Over it goes to Bailey again. Drives it off of Snow. Elizabeth Bean will serve. 17 aces this year for the 187 hitter. Freshman outside hitter sends it to Craman. Back set to Wilson. Drives it off Smith. Coyotes not willing to pack it in and call it a set. Down by 2. With the serve going back over to Rachel Wilson. Freshman middle hitter leads the team in kills. One of the better hitters on the team. Leads the team in aces. Leads the team in points. Launches it over to Smith. Setting up Della Torre. Able to get to it is Miller. Cramen drives it. Blocked by Horn. Little joust. Shoved over by Ottoman. South was down by 4, now by 1. And Rachel Wilson again serving. To Smith. Smith setting up Della Torre. Drives it off Alleman. And the Saints are a hard-fought point away from taking the opening set. South wants this one to go to 26th. Served up by Smith. Hardigan setting up Martin, and Martin will shove it through the Della Torre block. Sophie Cramen serving. Coastal South trying to tie it up at 24. Picked up by Smith in the backcourt. That is Brianna Smith over to Bailey. Blocked back over by Ottoman. We are tied at 24. Saints want to talk. We'll take the break too.
You're organized, driven, focused, ready to create the life of luxury in the most beautiful and unique locations, locally and around the world. Discover hospitality management at Coastal Alabama Community College.
What a battle between these two. 24 apiece. Somebody's got to get 26 to win it. We're into volleyball's version of overtime. Sophie Cramen serving it for the Coyotes. Trying to take that advantage early. Over to Della Torre. She'll drop in the kill in front of Cramen. Advantage Saints by 1. Caroline Bailey serving. The 155 hitter with 9 aces this year. Launches it over to Cramen. Hardigan going over to Alleman. Alleman will drop it in front of the sidelines and tie it up at 25. I don't have the official stats. I don't know how many times this game has been tied. I know it was at 13, 14, 15, and 16. And I know it was at 17 and 18. And now in 25, and you got to get 27 at least to win it. Della Torre off Snow. Well, that's how the Saints took their first lead after 25. Della Torre off Snow. Into the net, we're tied at 26. So the Della Torre error on the serve hands it back over to the Coyotes. Alexandria Miller, I believe, on the serve. Hard to pick up the numbers sometimes. The dark numbers, dark font. That could be Alleman. Over to Wilson. Blocked by Smith. Wilson bumps it off the net. Over to Snow, fisted across. It will drop in. Coyotes take the 1-point lead. I get it. It's only the opening set. We'll play at least 3. But you got a 6-1 Saints and a 1-6 Coyotes playing, and the Coyotes are a point away from winning the opening set. Bean goes long. Coyotes will win set number 1. 28-26. If you're looking for a little incentive, a little confidence builder, you got it. As the Coyotes take the opening set, we'll swap sides of the floor and get back to your volleyball in Bay Minette.
Discover pastry baking at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Just about all Wayne Jones County. Diving catch it, shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Perhaps got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
Is the 7 guy. Right up the middle, base hit, back-to-back base hit. Starter with a double, the single from Cumbie coming to the plate and tagged down at home.
Think you need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master electrical and mechanical skills, process controls, hydraulics and pneumatics, and land a job that can take you anywhere. Start your path to a career that pays. Discover electrical and instrumentation technology at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Set number 1, and Coyotes win 28-26 as we get set number 2 underway. As I mentioned, in 3-set matches, Coyotes are 2-12. Bean drives it, blocked by Stewart and Craman. Back set over to Bailey. Aims for the corner, able to get there is Ottoman. Back set over to Wilson, drives it. She'll go long, and the Saints will take the opening point. Coyotes still with an opportunity to sweep it and take it 3-0. Now keep in mind, Saints have only lost one 3-0 set. That was to Pensacola State. It doesn't happen often. Coyotes, though, saying it could happen tonight. Serving is Alexandria Miller. Boudreaux to the sidelines. Martin checking in. Miller going cross court to Bailey. Back over it goes to Bailey. The Smith set. Picked up by Ottoman. Bumped by Miller. Shoved over by Craman. Smith setting up Bean. Blocked by Craman. Back over to Della Torre. It is Miller in the backcourt. Bumped to the mid part of the floor by Craman. Free ball sent over by Miller. Della Torre is there. Back set. Bailey will drive. Ottoman gets it. Snow drives. Blocked by Horn. Craman picking it up, sending it back onto the floor. Driven over by Horn. Well, if the early part of set number 2 is any indication, it is going to be like set 1. A battle back and forth. Elizabeth Bean will serve. Averaging 4 points per set. Pumped over to Craman. Fisted over Horn. Dug out by Bean. Smith sending it in the backcourt to Snow. Setting up Martin. And Martin will drive it into the net. The biggest lead in the match thus far has been 4. Back set Ottoman. Wilson will drive it off Smith. And Rachel Wilson will serve. When these teams met in Andalusia on the 5th of September, opening set was a Saint win, 25-13. In this one, it is a Coyote win, 28-26. Bumped over to Della Torre. Ottoman got a piece of it first. Over to Craman from the left side. Aiming for the opposite corner and goes long. Saint serving, the libero doing the honors, Reese Smith. A 4-2 Saint lead. Snow to Hardigan. Feeds it over to Alleman. Alleman outside of that sideline. Corner judge indicating it is wide. And Smith will serve again. Sends it to Snow. Bump to Hardigan. Back set to Craman. Dinks it over Della Torre. Not a particularly good pass, but a nice job by Bailey to get it over. Fisted over by Ottoman. Setting up Kelly. Shoves it over. Hardigan over to Ottoman. Ottoman. And is dug out by Bean. Free ball sent over by Smith. Hardigan with a set mid part of the floor. Martin shot blocked. It was Bailey that did it. Bailey fists it over. Swatted over by Holloman. Bean in the backcourt. Driven over by Kelly off Snow. And Saints will take a 4-point lead. Reese Smith again serving the libero. 22 aces on the year for Smith. Drives it over to Snow, bump to Hardigan. Feeds it over to Holloman, drives it, drops it, dug out by Smith. Free ball. Well, it was going to be sent over, but there was a net violation. Coyotes will win the point. Cut the lead in half, make it a 6-3 game. Sophie Craman serving. Picked up by Bean. Over to Della Torre. Miller in the backcourt. What a dive by Hardigan. Boy, you talk about sacrificing life and limb. Trying to get a pass off, just goes airborne. Saints pick up the point. Bailey will serve. Snow sending it in front of the in line. Coyotes get the serve back. Stewart checking into the lineup. Miller coming out for Coastal South. Kinsley Martin will serve. The last time these two teams met, Martin didn't play. Their playing time continually increasing. In part, injuries to Coyotes, but she has earned the playing time. Over to Alleman. Blocked by Smith. Saved by Craman. Back over to Della Torre. Drives it. Drops it in front of Craman. Saints will serve. Della Torre serving. Della Torre, the freshman. She served twice, well, more than twice, but 2 of the Della Torre serves in the match have been errant ones. Alleman will serve. Alleman, when these two teams met on the 5th of September in the lineup, and has been a key figure in every match, as that one is driven over. 20 matches, 66 sets for Alleman. Ashlyn Kelly serving, the freshman outside hitter. Bay Minette Middle School. Side of, it looks like every home Coastal South game this season. That one went way up into the rafters, and here the rafters open. There's beams, there's air conditioning ducts, there's lights, but somehow that didn't get any of them. But you're down on the floor anticipating, trying to figure out where it will ricochet to. And in this particular case, it didn't ricochet. So it had the same effect. Craman able to send it into the corner. Grayson Snow to serve. Into the backcourt, picked up by Della Torre. Smith sending it over to Bean. Bean drives it. Boudreaux digs it out. Over it goes to Wilson. Shoves it from the left side. Smith's there. Back over to Bean, and Bean will send it in front of the end line. Saint serving, Brianna Smith doing the honors. #1 in the conference in assists per set, almost 11. She has 775 assists this year. Over to Snow. Back set Alleman, setting up Stewart. That will go off of Bailey. Boudreaux and Stewart out, Miller and Martin in. And Miller will serve. Caught the top of the net and drops back over on the Coyote side. Elizabeth Bean serving for the Saints. Craman gets to it first. Over to Martin, and it's blocked by Bailey. Back to a 4-point lead, matching their biggest of the match. Bean will serve. 248 kills. #2 on the team behind Della Torre's 250. Back set to Wilson, and she will go long. There is the largest lead in the match at 5. Bean serving. Miller gets to it first, setting up Craman, mid part of the floor. She'll drop it off the hand of Smith. And Rachel Wilson again serving. 20 matches, 64 sets for Rachel Wilson. 162 kills. 477 total attacks. Got a little perspiration on the floor here. So thus a break in the action while the perspiration is being tended to. I mentioned the Coyotes are back here on Friday play here Saturday, too. Saints' next outing is in a couple of days. They will travel to Selma to take on Wallace Selma. Bumped over to Bean, sends it to the front line. Delatore drives it into the backcourt. Miller's there. Over to Craven. She will fist it over. Smith gets to it. Bump to Delatore. That is off Miller and out of bounds. Saints back out in front by 5. Reese Smith will serve. 45 minutes into the match as Craven goes wide. And still about midway through set number 2. Timeout on the floor as the Saints go up by 6.
Think you need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master a skill to land a job fast. And start your path to a career that pays. Discover welding at Coastal Alabama Community College. So what are you waiting for?
Okay, don't forget, we've got all the, the free social media outlets. Facebook, hey, if it's free, we'll do it. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Twitter. It's not Twitter anymore, I know. We've talked about this before. It's X, I guess. But the former Twitter. And 2, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's the focus tonight. We want to grow those numbers. Shoved over by Martin. Smith gets to it. Alleman will drive it across. Smith again. Over to Delatore. And it is poked back over by Craven. Sophie Craven serving. The sophomore with 91 kills, 207 hitter, 32 assists, 13 aces. Serves it to Smith, over to Delatore. Snow dug out by Craven. Ottoman aiming for the other side of the floor and drops it in. Coyotes trim it from 6-4. And Craven will serve again. Coyotes have won 5 conference sets and lost 18. Over by Snow. Picked up by Bailey, over to Delatore. Fisted across. Hardigan pumps it up. Alleman driving it into the backcourt. Smith. Back over to Delatore. Craven able to get there. It ricochets off all kinds of stuff, but Hardigan plays it off the ricochet. Kelly misfiring. Coyotes have cut the lead in half. 3 unanswered Coyote points. Makes it a 15-12 game. Saints in the conference, winners of 19 sets and losers of 5. Bailey sitting it into the backcourt. Miller's there. Hardigan shoves it to Alleman. Aims for the other side of the floor. Setting up Delatore, and she will send it into the net. 4 in a row for the Coyotes. Craven again serving. This is the 7th game I've done here for Coastal Sound, and I've never seen Craven leave the floor. And I got a feeling in the away games, she doesn't leave the floor either. A 1-point game, 5-0 run for the Coyotes. Taking a 6-point lead and making it 1. Over to Delatore, and she'll go long. We're tied at 15. Saints take a break. They want to talk. We're back in 30.
What's up, y'all? Here at Coastal, Alabama. I'm about to go and get this leg day started. Let's get it. We're here again after it today. You're... Oh! Hey, let's go, baby. Let's ride. Yes, sir.
Coyotes erasing a 6-point deficit have gone on a 6-0 run and tied it at 15. Cramen serves up things coming out of the timeout. Bailey driving it into the backcourt. Miller is there. Hardigan setting up Snow. Snow with the free ball. Smith to Smith. Over to Della Torre. She will take it off of the arm of Miller. And the Saints by 1, they get the serve back, and in that run of unanswered Coyote points at 6. Bailey will serve for the Saints. Cramen, first pass, Hardigan. Back over to Cramen, free ball sent into the backcourt. Bailey's there. Over to Della Torre, and she'll bang it off Martin. 2 straight for the Saints. And the 17-15 game. Again, Bailey serving. 9 aces this year for Bailey. Hardigan shoving it over to Alleman. Alleman blocked by Smith. Cramen able to get to it. Alleman shoves it over. Mid part of the floor. That is Kelly sending it into the backcourt. A little too far behind the antenna, but did she get it in? No. Snow just a little bit wide. And the Saints going on a run of their own, 3 in a row now. Trying to rebuild that lead. Hardigan setting up Alleman. Della Torre there. Back over to Della Torre. Pops it with the left hand. And the lead is 4. Well, I'm looking to the sidelines, and it's like sick bay for Coastal South. You got Rollison out, you got German out, you've got Sanders out, all with injuries. They are players turned cheerleaders. Served over by Bailey. Martin sending the free ball to Smith. Back set, Kelly. Too long. Coyotes making a 3-point game. Stewart coming back into the game for Coastal South. Alexandria Miller will come out, and Kinsley Martin will serve. Martin, an 090 hitter with 4 aces this year. Meanwhile, Samia Mason, who started the game but has not played much in set number 2, back onto the floor for the Saints. Ace for Martin makes it a 2-point game. Mason to Smith, shoved over to Della Torre, somehow able to get it across. Somehow Stewart got a hand on it, saved it. And you got 2 hits from 1 Coyote. Saints back out in front by 3. Della Torre serving. Cramen gets it first. Hardigan bumps it to Stewart. Dinked over to Smith. Setting up Bean, and she'll drive it off Stewart. The lead is 4, and the Saints are 4 away from tying it up at 1 each. Boudreaux bumping it to Hardigan, over to Alleman. Alleman sending it down the line to Smith. Setting up Kelly, shoves it over, Cramen there. Hardigan saves, sent over by Alleman. Smith able to get to it. Over it goes to Bean. Boudreaux returns. Over to Alleman. Drives it down the line off Mason. Coyotes back to within 3. Sarah Alleman serving. When these teams met in Andalusia, Coyotes only scored more than 17 once. First 2 sets today, 17 plus. That will go off Alleman. It was right about here in the opening set where Coastal South began to make a run. Let's see if we have some deja vu. Back set to Snow. Picked up by Kelly. Over it goes to Bean, and Bean goes long. Grayson Snow will serve. We are about a month removed from the conference tournament at the Civic Center in Mobile. What a save by Snow off the horn shot. Wilson bumps it into the corner. Mason's there. Tipped over by Smith. All teams in the ACCC this year in D2. Kind of North and South division, and the way I understand it is that your top 4 teams at the end of the regular season move on, but they don't necessarily get to play a whole lot in Mobile. The 4 seeds will play one another with, in essence, a play-in game. 1, 2, and 3 automatically in. Timeout on the floor. Saints a point away from tying it at 1 set each.
About to start my day, but first, coffee. Here with my Coastal crew. Woo! And that's how I end my day at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Set point for the Saints, 24-19. Brianna Smith will serve. Saints trying to tie it at 1 set each. Coyotes looking to rally. Boudreaux gets to it first. Setting up Cramen. Drives it over. Picked up by Della Torre. Fisted back over by Wilson. Coyotes not done yet. Alexandria Miller will check in. She will serve for the Coyotes. Picked up by Smith. Smith setting up Bean. And Wilson will block it. Miller again serving. And we are still at set point. Smith to Smith. Over it goes to Bean. That will drop off Martin. And the Saints have tied it up at 1. Coyotes taking the opening set. Saints set number 2, which means we're going to play at least 4 tonight. Got a late start, got a long couple of first sets. Hey, sit back, enjoy. It is volleyball on a Tuesday on JockJive.
It's early here at Coastal Alabama, but I'm going to head over to the student union and maybe meet some friends, and then I'll head to class. Hey! I finally made it to class. See you later, Coastal fam.
Just about all Wayne Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Crafts got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
You made it. You went further than even you believed. You took your friends, your teammates, teachers, and coaches. You needed Dad, but Mom was there through it all. See, you didn't do it alone. It took a united effort. It also took you. United Baseball is a full-time organization focused on development and advancement of athletes. If you're a high school-age baseball player with a desire to play at the next level, you could be next. Log on to unitedbaseball.org to learn more.
It's the dreaded appointment. You've put it off long enough. You've run out of excuses. And now you've got to face your fears head on. Fortunately, there's someone there who won't hold your feelings against you. Somebody whose efforts instead will give you your best selfie smile. You'll thank her when it's over. Be somebody. Enroll in the dental assisting program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Snow sending it into the net as we get set number 3 underway in a one-apiece contest. I don't know if you can call anything at all from the fact that the Saints have scored the opening point in every single set thus far. You could, I guess, if the Saints were up 2-0, but it's not an up and 1. Driven over by Horn. Saints take the early 2-zip lead. Brianna Smith serving. Saints number 1 in the South Division of the ACCC. Wallace Hansful, number 1 in the North. Put over by Smith. Their first is Snow, driven over by Stewart. Lead cut in half. Mobile, Alabama, the Civic Center, the site of this year's tournament, the postseason tournament, which will also include a Region 23 rep. And that is that region that includes Mississippi and Louisiana. Well, no serve, and De La Torre heard the boom of the serve and was in the process of trying to get some perspiration off the floor. And you can tell by the expression on the face, like, hey, wait, what was that? Is that a serve? And of course, if you're on the other side of the floor and you are Alexander Miller, heck, if you can squeeze it in, sneak it by, do it, but it was caught. And now we're back to the play. Snow setting up Wilson. Wilson will drive it. Able to get a piece of it. Bailey Cramen underneath. Shoved over by Ottoman. Horn drives it over off Snow. A 3-1 ball game in set number 3 in 4-set matches. Coastal Alabama South is 1-3. Over to Wilson. And Wilson, what a good-looking shot. Meanwhile, the Saints in 4-set matches, 6-3. Nibble the top of the net, able to pick it off Bean. Cramen pumping it over to Snow, setting up Ottoman. Shoves it over. Somebody, I think, in the net. I believe that was Bailey. And we are tied up at 3. Well, still enough of the season left that teams that are currently not in the top 4 can get in the top 4. As Wilson serves over to Della Torre, and she'll drop it in front of the inline. So if you're Coastal South, a team that is not in the top 4 in the South, certainly a chance to get in. And a feather in your cap and a big stride towards doing so would be knocking off the number 1 team in the South currently, the Saints, whose only conference loss came to Enterprise State. And that was a loss they avenged 3-1. As a matter of fact, this week, well, within the week, on the 27th of September, they avenged that in Andalusia. Cramen serving, picks up the ace. South taking their first lead in set 3. And their first lead since set 1. Cramen again with a serve. Smith gets there first. Bumped over to Della Torre. That is Hardigan who gets underneath. Ottoman driving it. And she's able to fist it through the block of Amy Garner, who is now in the game. Haven't seen Amy Garner in the first couple of sets, but she is here in set 3 for the Saints. Cramen will serve, pops it over to Bean. Smith bumping it over to Della Torre, and that will careem off Cramen. Saints make it a 1-point game. Amy Garner to serve. She's been in 16 matches, 30 sets this year. 6 aces for the old 54 hitter. Hardigan bumping it over to Alleman. And Alleman fisting it through the Kelly block. Stewart checking back into the game for the Coyotes. Miller will go out. Kinsley Martin to serve. Gardner off the floor, and Mason checks in for the Saints. Martin fisted over to Bean. Setting up Della Torre, and she trying to bring it down the line, goes wide. South with a 3-point lead. That is their biggest of the match. Kinsley Martin again serving. Over to Smith. Back set to Kelly. Shoves it over. Cramen able to get there. Hardigan setting up Stewart. Dinks it over. Mason there. Over to Della Torre. Going cross court. Stewart with the block. Stewart again with a tip. But she got a hand in the net. And the Saints pick up the point. Della Torre serving. Freshman outside hitter. .214 hitter with 29 aces this year. Launches it to Cramen. Hardigan back set to Alleman. It is blocked by Bean. Snow got to it. Alleman dives and can't retrieve. Saints get to within one. Delatore hit .375 when these teams met in Andalusia about a month ago. Had 9 kills and 3 aces. Sends it into the net. That's her 3rd service error. She had 2 the last time they met. 3 today thus far. Alleman serving. Mason first. Bumped over to Bailey. And Bailey will drive it. A 1-point game. Kelly will serve. And make that Kelly, by the way, with a kill. Hard for Bailey to get a kill when she's on the sidelines. It was Kelly with the kill, Kelly with the serve. Over to Stewart. Blocked by Smith. Shoved over by Alleman. Bean able to get there. Horn shoving it over. Cramen there. Setting up Stewart. Flicks it over. Mason able to get to it. Sending it to Bean. Drives. Picked up by Alleman. Cramen over to Wilson. Drives it. Mason there. Smith with a set. Bean with a drive. Cramen able to get there. Back set to Snow. Fisted over. Blocked by Horn, and that will go on the Coyote side of the floor. Drop to make it a 9-9 game. Check that. Just the contrary true. Turns into a South Point, makes it a 10-8 game. Grayson Snow, 3 aces this year, 20 matches, 64 sets for the freshman. A total of 8 kills, 8 errors, so they cancel one another out. She's hitting goose eggs. Over it goes to Bean, and Bean either blocked by Stewart or drove it into the net. Either way you look at it, Coyotes by 3. And Snow to serve again. Okay, a reminder, game coverage available at its conclusion by subscription. You can watch the live stuff free. The archive stuff is subscription based. Over to Cramen. Dinks it over. Smith able to get there. Smith setting up Bean. Drives it. Cramen blocks it. Tipped over by Smith. Aiming for the corner. That is Alleman able to get there. Mason. Fisted over by Delatore. Trying to dig it out. Snow and couldn't. Brianna Smith serving. 9 serving 11. Smith averaging 1.5 a set. Bumped over to Wilson. Drives it. Smith gets it in the backcourt. Brianna Smith setting up Bean. Blocked by Cramen and Stewart. Coyotes by 3 in set number 3. Alexandria Miller checking back in. Over to Delatore. Smith setting up Horn, and Horn drives it into the net. 4-point lead, Coyotes, and Saints ask for time.
Preparing for surgery is like getting ready for the big game. You arrive early. You get your mind right. You make sure every tool is ready and the team has the right equipment. Your patient may never know your name. They may never realize that somebody cared enough to ensure all the little tasks were done right. But that's okay. You do. Be somebody. Enroll in the Surgical Technology program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Coastal Alabama South with a 4-point lead in set number 3. Trying to take a 2-1 advantage. Horn will drive it with authority. Serve back over to the Saints. Elizabeth Bean doing the honors, the freshman who has been in 22 matches and 68 sets. Saints winners of 56 sets overall. Losers of 21. Setting a Horn, shoves it over, able to get there. That is Holloman. Back over to Della Torre, drives it. And Miller got there. Wilson will drive it, blocked by Garner. Della Torre flicking over, Cramen able to get there. Wilson shoves it into the backcourt. Miller's there. Make that Smith is there. Bean going long. Coyotes again by 4. And Rachel Miller serving. Or make that Wilson. Why am I stuck on Miller? I have no clue. Wide with a Rachel Wilson serve. Here comes Kelly in for the Saints as Horn goes out. Reese Smith will serve. Holloman first pass. Hardigan setting up Cramen. Bean to Smith, setting up Della Torre. And she will drop it in front of the sideline. 2-point game. The libero Reese Smith serving. Sends it to Snow. Hardigan shoving it over to Holloman. Garner blocks it out of bounds. And Cramen will serve for South, 15, serving 12. Coyotes 10 away from a 2-1 lead. Saints 13 away, Cramen in the net, now 12 away are the Saints. Amy Garner serving. 48 kills, 38 errors on the year for Garner. Hardigan bumps it to Holloman. Holloman sends it over. And a little campfire with Garner not able to return it. Miller coming off the floor. Stewart in for the Coyotes. Serving is Martin. Fisted across to Mason. Setting up Della Torre. Drives it off of Holloman. And Della Torre will serve. .250 kills for Della Torre. Boudreaux to Hardigan, and I think Hardigan hit it twice. Della Torre with the serve. It's long. Service error number 4 for Della Torre. Sarah Holloman serving for the Coyotes. Now needing 8 to take a 2-1 lead. That is driven over by Kelly. Kelly serving. Reese Smith out. In is Horn for the Saints. Saints number 3 in the conference in kills percent. Number 4 in hitting. 2 in assists, 13 in blocks, 2 in aces, and 3 in digs a set. Bean goes long. Coyotes 10 in kills a set, 9 in hitting, 10 in assists, 10 in blocks, 10 in aces, and 9 in digs percent in the conference. Over to Wilson. Back to a 3-point Coyote lead. And Grayson Snow serving. Picked up by Mason. Smith shoves it across. Holloman's there. Wilson will drive. Saved by Mason. Smith able to get it over. Stewart. Cramen eventually from the corner. Picked up in the backcourt by Mason. Mid part of the floor. Horn will shove it off Ottoman. Cramen with the save. Snow sending it over. Bean and De La Torre got a piece of it but couldn't send it back. Coyotes by 4. Another Saint timeout in set 3.
You're organized, driven, focused, ready to create the life of luxury in the most beautiful and unique locations, locally and around the world. Discover hospitality management at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Well, this wasn't supposed to be much of a match. You had the 1-6 Coastal South, the 6-1 Saints team a notch above the bottom, another team atop the standings in the South. But the Coyotes have given the Saints all they can handle tonight. And lead it by 4, tipped over by Cramen. Over it goes to Bean, and Bean drives it in the net. 5-point Coyote lead. Popped over by Snow. De La Torre gets there, setting up Horn, and Horn drives it off Ottoman. Brianna Smith serving, Mason out, Garner in for the Saints. One hour, 23 minutes in, and still a lot of volleyball to go. Shoved over by Wilson. Smith setting up Horn. Wilson blocked it, but it drops in. 2 in a row for the Saints. And Smith will serve again. Timeout asked for by the Coyotes. Coach Delaney does not want this one to slip away as the Saints lop 2 off of a 5-point lead.
Discover pastry baking at Coastal Alabama Community College.
And reminder, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Of course, you'll get updates when we add a link. You'll get updates and notifications when we start a link. And you'll be our new best friend. JockJive Sports Live. Put that in the search engine if you're not already there. And subscribe, and we'll thank you. Stewart with a kill. Coyotes 3 away from a set 3 win. And lead it by 4. Alexandria Miller serving. And again, you got the Coyotes scoring 20 plus. They did it once when these two teams met a month ago. They've done it thrice tonight. Miller serving as the lead goes back to 3. 2 straight from the Coyotes. Smith shoving it over to Garner. Garner will drive it in front of Snow. Elizabeth Bean serving. Set up by Ottoman. Tipped over by Craven. Smith's got it. Bumps it over to De La Torre. It is blocked by Martin. Coyotes at set point. Trying to take a 2-1 lead over the top team in the South. Rachel Wilson will serve. Fires it over to Smith. Setting up Horn. In the backcourt is Miller. Wilson drives it over. Bean able to get to it. Smith sends it back onto the floor. Smith over. Ottoman. Back set Craven. It is blocked by De La Torre. Martin. Tipped over by Ottoman. Smith bumping it over to De La Torre. She'll drive it. Snow's got it. Ottoman aims for the sideline. Smith able to get there. De La Torre again the drive. This time she'll drop it in front of the inline. Bean again serving. Saints needing 6. Coyotes needing 1. There's 1 of the 6. Timeout on the floor. Coyotes in a 24-21 set 3.
Think you need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master electrical and mechanical skills, process controls, hydraulics and pneumatics, and land a job that can take you anywhere. Start your path to a career that pays. Discover electrical and instrumentation technology at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Saints trying to take this one to a 26-24 game. Coyotes trying to win it. Take a 2-1 lead. Head to set number 4 with the advantage. Saints taking a substantial amount of time. And that has caught the attention of the officials. And now you've got coach and umpire looking at the lineup sheet. So I am not sure what is taking the extra time, but and Coach Richie Delaney looks a little frustrated over on the Coyote side of the floor, going, hey, we talked in our allotted time. Why aren't they doing the same? But I think there was a conversation between coach and official. So it wasn't just a matter of taking extra time to talk to the ladies. There is a matter that coach and officials are working on. Meanwhile, you got not a lot of folks in the stands, but trying to create some noise, some atmosphere here on a Tuesday in Bay Minette. Game got started late, originally slated for a 7 o'clock start. Starts at 7:30 because of an official shortage. And then you've got a match that didn't take a lot of time getting started, but a little bit because the scoreboard went out. So they went to a manual scoreboard, and now we've got an apparent question mark that is being addressed in regards to the lineup for the Saints. And then you couple the fact that there have been a lot of points scored. In that opening set, 54, and set number 2, 46. In this one thus far, you got 45 points. So now you got a 90-minute match and still at least one more to go and the possibility of 2. And with the music coming up here, that would be an indication that they are still trying to sort out whatever situation that has arisen. And I don't know if you can catch it to the far right of the screen. You can just barely see Coach Jane Wiggins and the umpire looking at the lineup for the Saints. And that's why we've got a little bit of a pause. So do we have time to squeeze a spot in for Coastal Alabama? Let's try.
Think you need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master a skill to land a job fast. And start your path to a career that pays. Discover welding at Coastal Alabama Community College. So what are you waiting for?
Just about all Wayne Jones County. Diving catch it, shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
Well, I am not sure exactly what transpired, but apparently there was an illegal formation that thus prompted a point being awarded. And this is all speculation. A point being awarded to Coastal Alabama South, and as a result, they have won the set without having to serve the ball again. Swap sides to the floor, and we get ready for set number 4 as the Coyotes try to pull off a Tuesday night upset.
What's up, y'all? Here at Coastal Alabama, about to go and get this leg day started. Let's get it. We're here again after today. You're... Hey, let's go, baby. Let's ride. Yes, sir.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
Very unusual way to end set number 3, but it goes the way of the Coyotes, apparently due to an illegal substitution. Yeah, the Coyotes will win 25-21, go along with the 28-26 set 1 win. In between Saints win 25-21, and you got a 2-1 ball game as we get into set number 4. Saints serving, Smith does the honors. Shoved over to Wilson. And that will be fought through the Garner block, and for the first time, the opening point belongs to Coastal South. And Alexandria Miller will serve. Coyotes needing to win just one more set to pull off the upset. Driven by Horn, Miller in the backcourt, shoved over to Wilson. And Wilson, I think that got fingertips. Nope, apparently did not. Sure looked like it on that block attempt by Garner. But apparently did not, and Bailey will serve. Miscommunication between Snow and Miller. In 4 set matches, and of course Saints can't win this in 4. They're going to have to go to 5. And they've only been to a 5th set once and lost it this season. But for the Coyotes in 4 set matches, they are 1-3. Picked up by Ottoman. Over it goes to Wilson. A little too strong with the back set. Saints take a 3-1 lead. Boudreaux in. Snow comes out for Coastal South. Served up by Bailey. Setting up Craven. Drives it. Smith's there. Brianna Smith setting up Delantore, and she will send it in front of the inline and away from Miller. Well, if you're the Coyotes, you've already won tonight. I mean, granted, they want to win the match. They don't want to lose in 5, but even if you lose in 5, you've had to have said something about your confidence in taking on the number 1 team in the South and pushing them 5-6. Obviously, got a long way to go to get there. Plus, you consider that the biggest lead in this match has only been 6. It is not like the Coyotes have been manhandled at any point. Rachel Wilson serving. After Martin sends it over with the 2 hands, makes it a 3-point game. Launched over to Smith. Brianna Smith setting up Horn. Able to get the block was Martin. 3 serving 5. Coyotes trying to go to 4-3 on this Bay Minette Middle School floor. Wilson too strong. Saints are trying to improve their away mark to 4-2. That is when they're playing on the opposition's floor. They are 7-3 at neutral site. So away from Andalusia, they are 10-5. Ottoman gets there. Hardigan with a back set. Craven sends it Over to Smith. Bump back over to Garner. Miller digs it. Cramen off the net. Hardigan shoving it over. Smith able to get there. Setting up Della Torre. She'll go to the left hand and drop it in. Reese Smith serving, the libero for the Saints. Setting up Martin. It is blocked out of bounds by Kelly. Serve goes back over to the Coyotes. Cramen serving. Shoves it over. Nicely pulled off the net by Smith after the dig by Molly Powell, who is now in. Powell getting her first playing time in the match. Della Torre pops it. Cramen saves it. It's put back over by Kelly. Amy Garner will serve for the Saints. Trying to tie it up at 2 and send it to a 5th set. Into the net with the serve. Stewart coming in, Miller coming out for the Coyotes. Martin coming back to serve. Smith gets there first. Reese to Brianna. Popped over by Kelly. Stewart might have taken a shot to the face, but able to return it. Della Torre. That will go out of bounds. Smith still recovering. I think that is laughter and not tears. Sometimes it's hard to tell, but she took a shot to the nose. And I think she's laughing right now. Alleman brings it back onto the floor. Boudreaux sends it over. Mason with a set to Smith to Kelly, and Kelly goes out. Sarah Alleman will serve. Floats it into the net. Here's what's coming up this week on JockJive. Friday, a lot of volleyball. Lawson State, Coastal North, Gadsden State, Coastal North, Pearl River, and Coastal South. Setting up Wilson, and Wilson fights it through the horn block. Also on Friday, T.R. Miller and Bayside Academy football. Saturday, more volleyball. Gadsden State and Coastal South. Junior college football, Lewisburg and Georgia Military College. College football, Clark Atlanta and Allen University. And heck, we got a smorgasbord of sports. Baseball 2. Wilson off Della Torre and into the rafters. Showcase Series baseball on Saturday and Sunday from Pensacola. And all of it right here on JockJive. Snow sending it over. Mason first pass. Bailey drives it. Stewart blocks it. Shoved into the backcourt by Smith. Boudreaux's there. Setting up Stewart. Dug out by Mason. Over to Della Torre, and she'll go long. And the Coyotes get to within 1. Nine serving 10. Just clear the net. Smith able to get there. Shoved over to Horn. Stewart couldn't pick it up off the net. Saints by 2 with Garner back in for LBW. Brianna Smith serving for the Saints. Floats it over to Snow. Alleman with a back set. Stewart goes cross court. Over to Garner, tips it over. Snow able to get underneath. Shoves it to Wilson, drives it. Della Torre is there. Back over to Bailey. Boudreaux able to get to it. Shoved over by Ottoman. Smith gets there. Bumped up. De La Torre drives it, drops it in. Saints build a 3-point lead. 12 serving 9. Brianna Smith again with the serve. Snow gets there first. Bumped over to Wilson. Wilson off the Garner block. De La Torre picks it up. Bailey dinks it over. Snow can't dig it out. Saints build a 4-point lead. Coyotes ask for time.
About to start my day, but first, coffee. Here with my coastal crew. Woo! And that's how I end my day at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Saints with a 4-point lead in set number 4, trying to force the 5th set. Coyotes would love to wrap it up here. Win 2 in a row for only the 2nd time this year. Lead goes to 5. The biggest Saint lead has been 6. Smith with a serve. Snow first pass. Ottoman with a back set to Stewart, and Stewart goes wide. And there is another 6-point Saint lead. Brianna Smith again with a serve. Boudreaux to Craman. Free ball sent over by Ottoman. Smith able to get there. Brianna setting up Horn. And the Saints have got their largest lead of the match at 7. LBW trying to extend the win streak to 7 games. Last loss was on the 22nd of September up in Hansville, Alabama. Tournament hosted by Wallace Hansville. It was against Walter State. Which, by the way, interestingly, is a team that was beaten by the Coyotes. Five-point ball game, 2 in a row for the Coyotes as Alexandria Miller will serve. Seven-point game trimmed to 5. Miller with the serve. De La Torre there first. Smith over to Bailey. It's driven. Martin with a block. Shoved over by Horn. Craman gets to it. Over to Wilson on the left side. Going cross. Horn drops it in. 3 straight for the Coyotes. Wilson will serve. Or make that Miller to serve. Well, I got confused too. Wilson came back with it as if she was going to serve. And I was thinking, well, didn't you guys just serve and wasn't it somebody else? It was Miller. Horn blocked by Martin. Then Martin drives it in the corner off De La Torre. Miller again serving. 4 in a row from the Coyotes. The ace off De La Torre, 5 straight. And a 7-point game is now 2. Miller aiming for Garner. Bump back over to Garner. Drives it through the Martin block. And that string of 5 straight points snapped. Caroline Bailey serving, the outside hitter, who has been in 22 matches and 53 sets. 96 kills on the year for Caroline Bailey. And she will drop it into the net. Top killer for the Saints on the 5th of September when they met in Andalusia was Bean with 15. Now it is Rachel Wilson serving. Setting up Della Torre, and she will knock it off Miller. Reese Smith serving. 18 serving 15. In set 4, nearly 2 hours into the match. Hardigan setting up Martin. Gardner pumps it over to Smith. Della Torre trying to get it down the line, but it goes out. Sophie Cramen now serving. Over to Della Torre, drives across court. Cramen's there. Hardigan setting up Alleman. Alleman will fire it off Smith. Wasn't that long ago. It was a 7-point lead. It's now 1. 17 serving 18. Cramen launches it over. Setting up Della Torre, and she'll drive it. Lead goes back to 2 for the Saints. A must-win set for the Saints. And a want-to-win set for the Coyotes. Served up by Garner. Miller pumps it to Hardigan. Over to Alleman. Alleman drives it, drops it in. 1-point game again. Kinsley Martin to serve. 48 kills for the freshman middle hitter. 34 assists this season. Launches it over. Dug out by Smith. Back set Kelly. Della Torre picked up by Alleman. Bump back over to Alleman. Shoves it across court. Della Torre there. Smith shoves it over. Nice one-hander by Hardigan. Back over to Snow. Aims for the backcourt. Powell over to Della Torre. Martin too strong into the net. Stewart trying to fist it over. Couldn't. You wind up with 4 hits on the Coyote side. A 2-point lead as Della Torre will serve. Uncharacteristically 4 service errors for Della Torre. Makes amends with an ace. Timeout Coyotes. Saints by 3.
It's early here at Coastal Alabama, but I'm going to head over to the student union and maybe meet some friends, and then I'll head to class. Hey! I finally made it to class. See you later, Coastal fam.
Saints 4 away from forcing a 5th set. Coyotes 7 away from a huge win, their biggest of the season. If they could pull one off tonight against the top team out of the South, LBW. Over to Stewart, drives it into the backcourt. De La Torre there. Shoved over to Bailey. Snow got a piece of it. Craman with a bump. Hardigan sets. Stewart flicks. It's into the net. And the Coyotes cut it to 2. Sarah Alleman will serve. 147 kills for Alleman, and she will serve it up to Smith. Setting up Bailey, shoves it over. Alleman's there. Craman bumps into Wilson. Wilson drives it through the block of Smith. And again, a team that didn't get into the 20s but once. When they met in Andalusia here in Bay Minette, 4 times, 20 plus. And 1 away from tying it. Smith with a back set. Bumped over by Kelly. Over to Wilson. Smith able to get the block. Mason the set. Shoved over to Bailey. Tips it over. Trying to dive and save it was Alleman. And that will wind up on the stage. And the Saints will lead it by 2. Kelly serving. Ashlyn Kelly, the freshman outside hitter. A .257 hitter on the year. Craman, first pass. Bump back over to Wilson from the mid part of the floor. Off of Horn. Snow now serving. Fires it over to Mason. Shoved over by Smith. Brianna Smith serving. Boudreau first pass. Alleman sending it to Wilson. Wilson will tip it over and tip it in. Coyotes keep it close. Martin and Miller in. Boudreau and Stewart out. Miller serving in a 1-point game. Back set to Bailey. Tips it over. Craman gets there. Alleman setting up. Martin shoves it over. Fisted over by Horn. Saints 1 away from forcing a 5th set. Molly Powell checking in to serve. 5 aces on the year for the freshman. Drives it over to Snow. Alleman with a back set to Wilson. Nice save by Smith. Shoved over by Powell. Setting up Martin. Shoves it over. Smith able to get there. Back set to De La Torre, and she will drop it in for a Saint win. So why not go 5? You like your volleyball 5-set style? That's what you got. It has been back and forth. Coyotes, then Saints, then Coyotes, now Saints. If that trend continues, might be a good night for Coastal South.
It's the dreaded appointment. You've put it off long enough. You've run out of excuses. And now you've got to face your fears head on. Fortunately, there's someone there who won't hold your feelings against you. Somebody whose efforts instead will give you your best selfie smile. You'll thank her when it's over. Be somebody. Enroll in the dental assisting program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
Preparing for surgery is like getting ready for the big game. You arrive early. You get your mind right. You make sure every tool is ready and the team has the right equipment. Your patient may never know your name. They may never realize that somebody cared enough to ensure all the little tasks were done right. But that's okay. You do. Be somebody. Enroll in the Surgical Technology program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Can't go any further than 5, and we have set number 5 underway. Opening point goes to the Saints. Saints have scored the opening point in all but one set. Better than 2 hours in, and all started 2 hours and 3 minutes ago. High into the rafters, but able to get the pass off of Smith to Smith. Brianna Nerese back set to Craman. Drives it through the horn block. Bean there. Shoved over to Bailey. Boudreaux picks it up in the backcourt. Wilson to De La Torre. Setting up Bailey. Tips it over Craman. A little extra effort. A little extra stretch. And we're knotted up at 1. Alexandria Miller serving for Coastal South. Your largest margin of victory, 4. Your largest margin period has been 7. Shows you how closely contested these have been. Snow bumping it over to Wilson. Wilson will drive cross court off Smith. If history is repeated, it should be a good night for the Coyotes. Coyotes, and you got an ace from Miller. Coyotes have been in 5-set matches twice and have won both. Saints have been in a 5-set match only once before and lost it. Nice De La Torre serve. Bean shoving it over. Wilson setting up Craman. Aims for the opposite side, cross court. Bean gets there. Setting up De La Torre. Snow's there. Martin shoving it over, dropping it in. Coyotes by 3. Alexandria Miller still serving. Sends it to Smith. Smith with a back set. Warren sending it over. Ottoman able to get there. Back set, Snow to Wilson. Into the backcourt to De La Torre. Setting up Horn, and Horn will drive it. Bounced it into the face of Miller. Saints will serve. 2 serving 4. Molly Powell in for the Saints to serve. Sends it over to Snow. Bump back onto the floor by Miller. Free ball sent over by Snow. Little joust on the net between Bean and Martin. Della Torre will drive it. It's a 1-point game. Molly Powell serving. And serves into the net. Unless you don't have a lead of better than 2, we go to 15. If it's less than 2, we go until somebody's got a lead of 2 or more after 15. Nibble the top of the net, nicely dug out by Smith, but that is Della Torre going too long. And when somebody hits 8, we swap sides of the floor. (6-3) Coyote lead. Opening set, Coyotes win it 28-26. Saints win set 2, 25-21. Coyotes set 3, 25-21, and the Saints 4, 25-22. Here we are in 5. Over to Della Torre, blocked by Martin. Coyotes by 4. And 4 matches the biggest Coyote lead of the match. Ace delivered by Wilson. Saints want to talk. 5-point Coyote lead.
You're organized, driven, focused, ready to create the life of luxury in the most beautiful and unique locations, locally and around the world. Discover hospitality management at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Horn drives it off the block on the corner. Saints cut the lead to 4. Reese Smith will serve. Launches it over to Miller. Just traveled off the top of the net, but being able to get there. Della Torre driving it. It is saved on the dive by Miller. Trying to pull it off the net. Della Torre somehow got that back over to the south side. Tipped over. Smith able to get there. Smith setting up Bean. Bean drives. In the backcourt, Snow. Back set, Craven. Powell grabs into the backcourt to the opposite side of the floor. Della Torre. Wow, what a save by Snow and Miller. Della Torre drives again, this time off Craven. What a battle between the Saints and Coyotes. Served up by Smith. Setting up Craven. Powell's there. Della Torre will drive it. Alleman sending it to the front line. Back over to Alleman. Tips it over and drops it in. Coyotes needing 6. Saints needing 10. Craven will serve. 13 aces on the year for Craven. That is third most on the team. Setting up Della Torre. Craven able to get there. Powell in the backcourt. Back over to Della Torre. Bangs it off the net. Saints take time. Coyotes by 5.
Discover pastry baking at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Even my limited math skills would suggest Saints have got to outscore the Coyotes 2-1. Coyotes need 5, Saints need 10. Craman serves. Powell, first pass. Hardigan setting up Alleman. It is blocked off of Kelly, off of Smith to the floor. Craman again with the serve. Fished it over to Powell. Setting up De La Torre, and she'll drop it in the corner. Saints needing points, and they certainly appear to be going to their strength. De La Torre, it's as if almost everything is trying to set her up. Over to Alleman. Blocked by Smith. Bean again with the serve. Saints still needing to outscore the Coyotes 2-1. Over to Alleman. Drives it cross court and out. Now a 3-point game. Bean again serving. Miller gets there first. Hardigan with the back set. Martin sending it over Kelly. Setting up De La Torre. It is blocked but out of bounds off Martin. Saints trim 3 off the lead, prompting a Coyote timeout.
Think you need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master electrical and mechanical skills, process controls, hydraulics and pneumatics, and land a job that can take you anywhere. Start your path to a career that pays. Discover electrical and instrumentation technology at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Nine serving 11, 3 straight Saint points. Turning a 5-point game into a 2-point contest. In set number 5, Hardigan setting up Martin. 4 hits on the LBW side of the floor. And the string of 3 straight snap. Mason checking in for the Saints. Bean will come off the floor. Miller in to serve. No, that is Martin serving. Nice dig by Alleman. Powell. Free ball sent over. Little joust on the net. Dive again by Powell. Shoved over by Smith. Able to get there is Craman. Setting up Alleman. Alleman will drive it off of Powell. Lead back to 5. And the Coyotes need 2. Saints take time to talk.
Think you need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master a skill to land a job fast. And start your path to a career that pays. Discover welding at Coastal Alabama Community College. So what are you waiting for?
Coyotes with Martin serving. In need of 2 points before the Saints get 6. Mason first pass. Smith setting up Delatorre. Stewart got a piece of it, but it will drop off Hardigan and Martin. Delatorre serving. Coyotes need 2. Fisted over by Cramen. Dug out by Smith. Setting up Bailey. Boudreau is there. Over goes to Alleman. Shoves it across. Setting up Kelly. Cramen gets to it. Back set to Snow. Drives it. Mason's there. Over to Bailey. Boudreau. Cramen. Boudreau able to send it back over. Back set for Kelly. Wow, what a save by Boudreau. Alleman, then Delatorre saving it over by Bailey. Boy, there's been so many great plays on this volley. Cramen to Hardigan, tipped over by Stewart. Mason's there. Over it goes to Bailey. Snow blocks it. Saved by Smith. Finally, the volley is over. And it is Bailey with the kill. 3 straight from the Saints. Make it a 2-point game again. Some absolutely sensational plays made throughout the night. But that volley just kind of took the night and wrapped it all up in a nice, tiny little bow. Delatorre serving. Hardigan setting up Stewart. Stewart drives it. Delatorre able to get to it. Bumped over to Bailey. Boudreau into the rafters, but Hardigan's there. Alleman falling. Stewart able to tip it. Boudreau bumps it to Alleman. That is through the block of Kelly and Smith. And the Coyotes are at match and set point. Trying to win 2 in a row for the second time this year and knock off the current #1 team in the South. Over to Wilson. Wilson goes wide. Ashlyn Kelly will serve. The ace off Snow. Timeout on the floor. 1-point game in set number 5.
What's up, y'all? Here at Coastal Alabama. I'm about to go and get this leg day started. Let's get it. We're here again after today. You're Hey, let's go, baby. Let's ride. Yes, sir.
Got to give the Saints credit. 2 in a row with their backs against the wall. Set point twice, and now tied up at 14. 3 in a row. You got to get to 16 to win it now. Launched over by Kelly. Stewart setting up Wilson. Wilson will drive it. Setting up Bailey, and Bailey the kill. And now it's the Saints at set and match point. Kelly serving. Shoved over to Wilson. Go to your power. We're tied at 15. bookend overtime sets. First one went 28-26. This one's got to go at least 17. Snow will serve. Setting up Horn. Horn drives it. Back to set and match point. Brianna Smith serving. 50 aces this year for Smith. Bumped by Boudreaux. Setting up Wilson. That is off of Bean and out of bounds. Knotted up at 16. Saints thinking that it went off of a Coyote. It did not. And we'll have to go to 18 to get a winner in this one. Miller serving. Dug out by Smith. Back set. Horn drives. Got a back set to Wilson. Backs up to send it over. Free ball to Della Torre. Setting up Horn. And Horn with a kill. Here comes Powell in for the Saints. And we are again at set and match point. Served up by Powell. Setting up Craven. Drives it over, drops it in, tied at 17. Now 19 is where you got to get to win it. Moments ago, Saints had their top ace provider. Serving, and now the Coyotes do, and is Rachel Wilson, who has had 26 aces this year. Well, in the equivalent to OT, Saints have gotten to set and match point every time. Coyotes haven't been there yet. They would love to score the 18th point first, but it will be the Saints that do. On the error by Wilson. And for the fourth time in a row, Saints at set and match point. Served by Smith. Setting up Alleman. She'll drive it. Tied again. Winner's got to get to 20. Cramen serving for Coastal South. Floats it over to Smith. Setting up Della Torre. Drives it. Cramen's there. A little too strong with a pass from Cramen. 5 times now the Saints have been at set and match point. And they are there again at 19-18. Hardigan shoving it over to Alleman. Alleman. Powell able to get to it. Shoved over by Smith, and the ball game is over. Wow, what a match. What a set. What a night of volleyball. But the Saints will come away victorious. 3-2. And there's all the numbers and all the points. Coastal South taking sets 1 and 3. Saints 2, 4, and 5. And 2 of the 5 go extras. Saints now 7-1 in conference play, 18-5 overall, winners of 7 in a row. Coastal South 1-7, overall mark of 5-16. Thanks for watching our coverage. We're back here on Friday. Got volleyball from here and from Bruton on Friday, football Friday too. Plenty of football and baseball and a little volleyball mixed in on Saturday as well. Heck, spend the week with us. And don't forget to follow us Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching. See you Friday. For all the folks with all the Coastals, I'm Robert Williamson for JockJive. So long, everybody.